Hi everybody, Craig Hanson here from CraigHansonGolf.com. Check out the website, there's plenty of free information on there and the opportunity to have online lessons. I teach people from all around the world. I recently came back from the Australian tour where I teach tour pros on the tour and I also teach golf trainers. And this is one of my online lessons. This is Philip and we did this is like just one day later. This is a before and after shot. So let's get in there and see what we did. So Philip has had some problem with some steep entry into the ball, low shots, pull shots, and having a bit of trouble there. So what we did is we did something which perhaps might be, probably would be looked at as counterintuitive or moving against the grain, but had a good effect and he hit some better shots. So when he gets up to the top of the swing, you can see that the club looks to be moving nicely on plane and everything, got a decent looking shape to it. But when we get up to the top, I'll see one thing here that's interesting. This shaft, now this line that I've put above the ball, you can imagine that that's a wall, okay? And just that it's directly above the ball and the ball is underneath this wall. Now this line is now into this wall. Now for many people, or for people that flatten the plane too much, or for many people, this position would be fine. Now, what generally happens to most people that have a little bit of trouble steepening into the ball, or perhaps aren't as gifted as some of the most gifted golfers in the world, they'll tend to, where this points, it'll tend to follow. So it'll often have an effect that it comes out, but it will often steepen. So when I say steepen, when I draw a line here, the shaft or the end of the grip will point in between the ball and the feet. Now this is often has an effect on the face that it tips over, and we can have deep divots, clunky feel, it just doesn't feel great, and we can hit an array of shots, some out to the right, some out to the left, and it's really a sort of a steep and nowhere to go feel for many people. Now, so what we did is we positioned the club a little bit differently at the top. So we pulled the hands in a bit, so we can see now when the left arm is parallel to the ground, you can see that the elbow is back deeper. Here, now when we get to the top, you can definitely see that the grip is pointing in a completely different direction. Now, we all have different swings. This is not a style. There's people that come down underneath the plane or come down over the top or have no separation or sequence or grip or lag or release, different release patterns. There's so many different ways to go about it. But Phil managed to hit the ball higher and stop these low pull shots. And we could see that when he comes down, you can see that the shaft now flattens and goes through the right forearm as opposed to being over and almost going through the left forearm. And when he comes down now, much better entry into the ball, not as steep. And of course his impact plane now coming down much better than his impact plane here. That's really quite steep. So this had a nice effect. Now obviously there's a couple of things in the swing here. We can see that future things to work on. We can see that the right shoulder looks very high. So we've got a couple of problems with how that right shoulder is working. And but first things first, this is a position that would match up quite nicely for many people who have problems steepening into the ball. Now it's often interesting. This is Lee Westwood, who really is one of the best hitters, has been one of the best hitters in the world for many years, and you can see that when you have a look at some of the numbers, this left arm's down at 40 degrees and this shaft's up around 80 degrees. This position here is essentially an anti-steepening move, whereas someone like a Garcia will have a completely different position from there, where the club will point out way over this way. Okay. Now, both are incredible hitters of the ball with completely different styles, and this will, I think if Garcia swung back like Westwood, you'd never hear him ever again, and if Westwood swung back like Garcia, that would be it as well. So two completely different positions. But interesting is getting the information that's correct for your swing, for your tendencies, and having a look at sequence and having a look at your general pattern and getting the information that's correct for you. So check out the website, CraigHansonGolf.com. Have a look at, there's plenty of information videos, and have a look at the online lesson area. Send us something through and we'll have a look at you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.